So you want to make a free portfolio website that actually looks good. Well, here's the problem though, because most portfolio websites out there, well, they look like they were built in 2005. They're either completely outdated, boring as watching paint dry, or so complicated to build that you need a computer science degree just to get started. So here's what everyone else also tells you. Oh, you need a design skills, or oh, you have to pay for expensive tools, or my personal favorite here, just hire a developer. But what if I told you that that is complete nonsense? Because I've been building websites for years and I've seen thousands upon thousands of portfolios that make people want to just immediately close their browser tab. But I've also discovered something, well, that most people don't even know, that you can create a portfolio that looks like you hired a professional designer using nothing but free tools with zero coding experience and zero design background. So in this video, I'm going to build a clean, modern portfolio website from absolute scratch, and you're going to go ahead and follow along with me step by step. And what I'm talking about here is the exact structure that makes portfolios look professional, the small tweaks that instantly make your site look 10 times better. And by the end of this video, you're going to have a portfolio that you can actually send to clients or employers without feeling embarrassed. But here's the thing, if you've ever felt like your current portfolio right now is holding you back from getting the opportunities that you know you deserve, then this video is gonna change everything for you. Okay, so the AI tool that will build the entire portfolio website for us is Base44. They are one of the best AI builders at this moment, and I added a special link down in the description below, so you can go ahead and check them out too. Now, if you want to master Base44, and you should, and you want to learn how to build profitable SaaS apps and websites and AI agents and mobile apps with AI, then I've also created a complete masterclass that shows you exactly how to do it all step by step. And this masterclass normally costs $299 to join, but since you're watching this video, thank you very much. You can go ahead and join completely free. So please do check out that link in the description below to get free access to my Base44 masterclass. And really, you can start building your own AI-powered business today. Before adding anything to a portfolio, the structure needs to be in place. And this is usually the part that people tend to overlook because it doesn't feel exciting, but it is what determines whether the final site feels clean and intentional or just kind of scattered and inconsistent. And when the base layout is not defined early, then every new section starts to feel just disconnected. And then fixing that later on just takes even more time than just doing it properly from the very beginning. And the goal here is simple. Just set up the skeleton of the website so that everything that comes after naturally will fit into it. And that means having a working navigation at the top, a main layout that defines spacing and flow, and a footer at the bottom that closes the page cleanly. Now, once those are established, then the rest of the build becomes a lot easier because now we're no longer just guessing where things should go. And instead, we can go ahead and start with a very focused prompt. Nothing extra, no content yet, just the structure. Something like this. Create a personal portfolio website with a clean, modern design. Use a dark background with white and accent colors. Set up the main layout with a nav bar, a blank hero section with no details, and a footer. Make it fully responsive and only build the sections that I mentioned. So the key detail here is asking for a blank hero section up at the top and limiting the build to only those parts. And that keeps everything controlled and avoids any unnecessary elements just showing up too early in our process. And Base44 handles this step almost immediately. And as you can see, the nav bar is already in place here. The hero section sits there as an empty starting point as we asked for. And the footer is structured in a way that matches the overall design. And spacing is also consistent, the alignment feels correct, and the layout already works across different screen sizes without us needing to adjust anything. It's a pretty straightforward result here, but it also sets the tone for everything that follows next. So once this foundation is locked in, then every section added later just feels like a part of the same system instead of something that was just kind of forced in right after. So now that our structure is set, it's time to bring the page to life with the first real piece of content. So the hero section is where the site shifts from just a layout into something that actually communicates a real message. So it's the first impression, right? And in most cases, people do decide within just a few seconds if they do want to keep scrolling or just bounce out and leave. So clarity matters here more than creativity. A strong headline, a short one-line description, and then maybe 2 clear actions are more than enough. Anything beyond that just usually starts to add noise instead of value. So the goal is to be direct so that our visitors can instantly decide where to go next. And to build it, we'll use this prompt. Build the hero section, create placeholder data for a software developer, and add a bold headline with its name, a short one-line description of its career, and 2 buttons to contact for work and to view the portfolio. Add a subtle animated background to make it visually engaging. So this prompt here keeps everything quite focused. It defines the role, the content, and the structure without overloading the design. The animated background here is kept subtle on purpose, so it adds movement without really distracting from our message. Base 44 generates the section quite quickly as well. The headline here stands out right away. The one-line description gives enough context to our visitor without dragging on, and the 2 buttons here are also clearly placed for action. The background animation, as you can see, adds just enough visual interest to make the section feel alive without really overpowering the content. And everything just kind of comes together in a way that feels quite balanced, and it's done in also just about a minute without needing any adjustments from us. So after scrolling past the hero, most people are then looking for something that feels a bit more personal. And the headline already tells our visitor what we do, but it doesn't say much about our background or our experience. And this is where the About Me section comes in. Just enough information to give context without turning it into something that people have to sit and read through a lot of. And most people tend to overthink this part and just end up writing long paragraphs that no one really reads. So keeping it short and structured just works much better. A simple layout with a photo, a short bio, and a few key stats already tells a complete story without really overwhelming anybody. So to build this section out, we use this prompt. Add an About Me section below the hero section, include a profile photo placeholder on the left, a short bio paragraph on the right, and 3 highlight stats below like years of experience, projects completed, and clients worked with. So all of this just keeps everything clear and organized. The photo of us helps make the portfolio feel more personal. Our bio gives a quick introduction of us, and the stats provide a fast snapshot of experience without really needing long explanations. And Base 44 lays all of this out cleanly right away. The image here sits on the left, the text is aligned on the right, and again, those 3 stats are displayed underneath in a way that's easy to scan. So everything matches the style from the earlier sections so that nothing here really feels out of place. It's a simple section, yes, but it adds a lot of context without slowing the user down. After setting up the introduction here and our background, the next thing for us that needs to show up is, well, our actual work. And this is usually the moment where someone decides whether to keep exploring or to bounce and leave. So the way it's presented really matters more than anything else on the page. And this section needs to be easy to scan. So no complicated layouts, no unnecessary distractions, just a clean grid. That'll work best because it keeps everything organized and lets people browse naturally without thinking too much about where to look next. So adding a category filter early on does also help a lot. It makes the portfolio feel more structured and shows that there's range in our work, even if it's still using placeholder content for now. So to build all that out, we'll use this prompt. Build a portfolio section with a grid layout showing 6 project cards. Each card should have a project image placeholder, a title, a short description, and a view project button. Add a category filter at the top so that visitors can sort by project type. So everything in this prompt is intentional. 6 projects is enough to fill that space without really overcrowding it. And then each card also includes just the right amount of information to give a quick overview. Now the filter here at the top adds another layer of organization without really complicating the layout. And Base 44 generates this section quite cleanly. So as you can see, the grid is evenly spaced out, each card is consistent in structure, and the placeholders make it easy to kind of imagine where our real projects will go later on. So titles and descriptions are clear, and the buttons are also positioned in a way that really naturally guides our interaction with our eyes. It's straightforward, and it does exactly what it needs to do, which is present the work clearly without getting in the way. After going through the projects, there's usually a moment where someone who visits our website wants a quick summary of what you actually know. And the work already shows it to some extent, but having it laid out clearly just also makes it easier to understand your range without having to really dig through every single project. So this section works best when it's simple and organized. A long list of random skills can feel quite messy and hard to read, so grouping them into a few categories just makes a big difference. It keeps everything easy to scan and gives a clearer picture of how your skills are structured. So here's the prompt we'll use for this section. Add a skills section with a clean icon grid layout. Group the skills into 2 or 3 categories. Make it visually clean and consistent with the rest of the design. So now the prompt focuses on structure and clarity, and the icon grid here keeps everything visual, while the categories prevent it from feeling like an unorganized list. Now, keeping it consistent with the rest of the design also makes sure that it blends in more naturally with the earlier sections. And Base 44 generates a clean layout right away. The icons are evenly spaced, the categories are clearly separated, and everything just aligns with the overall style of the site. It is a small section, yes, but it also makes our portfolio easier to understand at a glance. But here's the thing, because Base 44, as you've seen, is incredibly fast and powerful, but most people still don't know how to use it properly. They end up building basic apps that don't make money, or websites even that can't even convert. And that's exactly why I created my own personal complete Base 44 Masterclass. And inside my course, I'm going to show you step by step how to build profitable SaaS businesses, high converting websites, of course, and mobile apps, all using AI with zero coding required. So in the course, you're going to learn how to build SaaS apps that really do solve problems, real problems, and generate recurring revenue. Also, the exact prompts and the strategies that I use myself to create professional websites in minutes, along with how to clone successful apps and then make them your own with a profitable twist, and with my proven system for turning Base 44 projects into actual income streams. Now, this is not just theory. I'm going to walk you through those real builds. I'm going to show you my exact process, and I'm going to give you the templates and the frameworks, of course, that have also helped my other students launch successful AI-powered businesses of their own. So if you're serious, and I hope you are while watching this, about building something profitable with AI in 2026, you got to click that link in the description to join my Base 44 Masterclass. Your future self will thank you for taking action today instead of just watching another tutorial. Now, going back to the build, and by this stage, the portfolio already shows our work and explains our background, but everything still comes directly from us, from you. So adding testimonials changes that by bringing in another perspective or two, which helps makes the whole site just feel more grounded and actually believable. And testimonials build trust quickly. 3 cards is the right number here, enough to be credible without taking up too much space. Even with placeholder content, the structure signals that social proof exists and makes it easy to swap in real ones later on. So here's the prompt we're going to use for this section. Add a testimonial section with 3 testimonial cards. Each card should have a quote, the person's name, their role, and a profile photo placeholder. Use a subtle card design that fits the overall aesthetic. And with that, Base 44 generates 3 testimonial cards right away, each one including, as you can see here, a quote, their name, role, and a photo placeholder. The design stays subtle here, so it fits naturally with the rest of our portfolio without really pulling too much attention away from the whole work. It's a small addition, but it does help make the entire portfolio feel more credible and complete. At this point, everything is already in place on our portfolio, so the last thing it needs is a clear way for someone to reach out to us. And if that part feels confusing or hard to find, well, then there's a good chance people just won't even bother, even if they are interested. So our contact section really needs to make it as easy as possible for someone to reach out to us. A 3-field form is all we need, so adding social links below also gives visitors a second way to connect on a platform they already use. So let's use this prompt. Build a contact section with a form that has name, email, and message fields, and a submit button. Let's add social media icon links below the form for LinkedIn, GitHub, and Twitter. Keep the layout centered and clean. And with that prompt, as you can see, Base 44 has generated a centered contact form with 3 fields and a submit button, all spaced properly and easy to use. The social media icons also sit right below the form, giving an alternative way to connect to us without cluttering the layout. So to me, it looks simple, and that's exactly what this section does need to be. Everything is already built at this stage, but it still needs that final pass just to make sure it feels complete, because those small inconsistencies can really make a site look unfinished, even if all the sections are already there. So this step is really about tightening everything up and making sure that our entire portfolio flows as one piece. And once everything is built, then the last step is making sure that it really holds together as one product. Spacing, consistency, smooth transitions, and of course, mobile layout are what separate something that looks assembled from something that looks designed. So here's the prompt we're going to use for this step. Review the entire portfolio and clean up the design. Fix any inconsistent spacing. Ensure all sections transition smoothly. Double check mobile responsiveness across all sections, and make sure the overall design feels cohesive from top to bottom. And Base 44 goes through the layout and refines it across the board. Spacing becomes consistent between sections. Transitions do feel smoother when scrolling, and the mobile layout does adjust properly without really breaking the design. So the final result is now ready to be published. Once everything is in place and the site really does feel complete, the last step, of course, is getting it live. And this part is usually where things do get complicated with traditional setups. But here in Base 44, it stays simple. Publishing through Base 44 is straightforward. All you gotta do is click that publish button here at the upper right. And there's no need to set up any hosting, configure domains, or even deal with deployment steps. The site just goes live directly from the platform itself and also becomes immediately accessible through a Base 44 subdomain. And at this point, the portfolio isn't just built, it's live and it's ready to be shared. Not every portfolio should follow the exact same format. The way it's structured really does depend on the type of work that's being presented, since different roles have different priorities when it does come to what needs to stand out. Different professionals need different portfolios, of course. A photographer's priority is the images, and a designer needs to show their process. A writer needs to show range and credibility. So here we're building 3 separate portfolios, each tailored to a specific profession, using the exact same platform and the same approach as previously we did before. So a photographer's portfolio works differently from most others simply because the images do all of the talking. Too much text or too much structure can really get in the way, so the layout just needs to kind of step back and let the work take center stage. So a full width gallery here makes that possible, while a minimal design and darker background also help keep the focus exactly where it should be. A photographer's portfolio is built around the images, right? So everything else just kind of gets out of the way. So we have full width galleries, minimal text, and a dark background that help keep the focus on the work. And the booking form is a practical addition as well, since photographers are hired for specific dates and events. So here's the prompt we'll use for this version. Create a photographer portfolio website with a full-width image gallery layout. Use a dark minimal design that puts the photos front and center. Add a category filter for portrait, landscape, and editorial work. Include a booking inquiry form at the bottom. And with that, Base 44 generates a full-width gallery right away with a clean dark layout here that naturally does highlight the images. The category filter is also already working, allowing our visitors to sort between portrait, landscape, and editorial work, all without any friction. The booking inquiry form is also placed here at the bottom, making it easy for potential clients to just reach out to us when they're ready to do so. And everything feels focused here and intentional, with nothing distracting from the work itself. So for the next version, the approach kind of leans more into how the work is presented and explained. So a design portfolio is judged the moment it loads, right? Because before anyone clicks into our project, the layout, the spacing, and the typography already say a lot about how you think as a designer. So that's why the structure matters just as much as the work itself. It's not only about showing finished visuals, it's also about showing how those visuals come together. For a designer, the portfolio itself is part of the work. Visitors will evaluate your design sensibility before they even click on anything else. So the case study format matters here because design work is more about how you think and solve problems and not just how things look. So showing the problem, your process, and the outcome gives a complete picture. So let's go ahead and send over this prompt. Create a UX/UI designer portfolio with a clean, minimal layout. Add a case study section where each project card opens into a detailed view with problem, process, and outcome sections. Use a white background with bold typography and one accent color. And with that prompt, Base 44 generates a clean white layout with strong typography right away, which already gives it that design-focused quality. And each project card also opens up into a detailed case study, and the sections are structured clearly into problem, process, and of course the outcome without needing any extra adjustments. And overall, the result is intentional from both a visual and structural perspective, which is exactly what this type of portfolio needs. This version relies more on how the content is presented rather than visual elements. And writing doesn't have the same sort of immediate impact as images or design, so the layout needs to build trust right away while making it easy to explore different pieces of work. A writer's portfolio needs to show range and establish credibility fast. So organizing work by category shows that you can indeed write across different topics or formats. Publication logos and visible bylines add credibility. The contact form needs to feel professional since freelance writers do usually get hired for ongoing or project-based work. So let's say something like this. Create a freelance writer portfolio with a clean editorial design. Add a featured article section with publication logos, a writing samples grid organized by category, a short bio section, and a simple contact form for project inquiries. And with that prompt, Base 44 generates an editorial style layout with a very clear structure, as you can see. The featured article section highlights key work along with publication logo placeholders, which also helps establish credibility right away. And of course, our writing samples are organized into categories, which do make it easy to scan through our different types of content. A short bio section adds more context, and the contact form is placed in a way that keeps the overall layout clean and professional. And the result presents the work in a way that really matches how writing is typically consumed, while keeping everything organized and easy to navigate. Now, some portfolios go beyond just presenting work and then just turn the entire site into part of the whole experience. And the structure itself becomes more of a reflection of the work, not just a container for it. So some of these are people who want the portfolio itself to be part of the experience. And each idea is built around a concept that matches the type of work being showcased so that the format and the content just kind of reinforce each other. This kind of portfolio works best for those kinds of people whose projects already exist in a three-dimensional world. And for 3D artists, game designers, or pretty much anyone creating spatial work, a standard flat layout can really undersell the actual experience of what they do. So a more immersive format makes much more sense here because the presentation really starts matching the medium itself. So built for 3D artists, game designers, or anyone whose work lives in three-dimensional space. A flat portfolio page undersells that kind of work. So building the portfolio as a navigable 3D environment really puts the medium front and center. The experience moving through space itself is really the first impression here. And this is the prompt we'll use for this kind of work. Create an interactive 3D portfolio using 3.js. Build a navigable 3D environment where each project is displayed as a floating object or panel in space. Add smooth camera transitions between projects and ambient lighting for atmosphere. And with that prompt, Base44 generates a fully navigable 3D environment where, as you can see, each project does appear as a sort of floating panel in space. Also, the camera transitions move smoothly from one project to another, and the ambient lighting as well adds depth without making the interface really hard to explore at all. And the result stands apart from standard portfolio layouts right away, and it gives our work a more of a presentation style that matches its nature. Alright, so the presentation for this one is built around something more familiar to developers. Rather than using, say, a traditional layout, the entire portfolio instead takes on a format that already feels more natural to the audience. And for developers, a sort of terminal-style portfolio really does speak directly to that audience. Other developers and technical hiring managers actually do recognize it and will recognize it immediately because command-based navigation just makes it memorable and doubles as a sort of small demonstration of creativity within a constrained format. So for this version, we're going to go with this prompt. Create a terminal-style developer portfolio. The entire site should look like a command line interface. Visitors can type commands like about and projects and contact to navigate. Add a blinking cursor, monospace font, and green on black color scheme. So with that, Base44 generates a fully functional terminal interface where navigation is handled through typed commands, and it's pretty cool. So the blinking cursor, the monospace font, and a green on black color scheme are all in place here, and it matches the look and behavior of a real command line. And as you can see, the commands move correctly between sections, making the portfolio interactive while still keeping the structure simple and focused. Lastly, we have an interactive map that works especially well for creatives whose projects are connected to specific places. So when location plays a role in the work, a standard grid really doesn't capture all that context. So using a map as the main navigation changes how everything is explored and adds a stronger sense of story right away. For photographers or videographers or writers whose work is tied to locations, an interactive map just kind of reframes the entire portfolio, and then visitors explore the work geographically instead of just scrolling through a grid. So each pin is a project from that place, which adds context and narrative that a standard layout cannot do. So this is the prompt we're going to use for this. Create a portfolio using an interactive world map as the main navigation. Each location pin represents a project. Clicking a pin opens up a project card with images, a short description, and the date. Use a dark map style with minimal UI around it. And with that prompt, Base44 generates an interactive dark-styled world map with clickable location pins placed across it. And as you can see, each pin opens up into a project card that includes an image placeholder, a short description, and the date, which makes every project just feel more tied to a real place and a moment. The minimal interface keeps the attention on the map and our work, which is exactly what makes this kind of format stand out. Before wrapping everything up now, I do want you to understand how Base44 is priced, especially since everything in this process runs on credits. So Base44 uses a credit-based model split into two parts. You got message credits, which are used for building and editing your project, basically every time you create a prompt and refine the site. And then you have integration credits, which are used for actions inside the app itself, like when users interact with features that you've built. So the free plan includes 25 message credits per month with a daily cap of 5, along with 500 integration credits. And this is enough to build and test a full portfolio website if you're working efficiently. And if you need more, the paid plans do scale up depending on usage. So the starter plan is $20 per month, Builder is $50 per month, Pro is $80 per month, and Elite is $160 per month. Now the structure makes it easy to start for free and only upgrade when you actually need more flexibility. So Base 44 can handle a wide range of portfolio styles, from simple layouts to more concept-driven experiences. And the process stays the same all throughout, starting with a clear structure, then building section by section, and then refining along the way. Using the approach that we've shown here throughout the video, you really can create your own portfolio step by step without needing to figure everything out all at once. And as you've seen, each part builds on the previous one, which just keeps the process manageable and easy to follow. And the examples also serve as a starting point here, because now you can take the prompts, you can adjust them to match your own work, and then build something that fits your style while still following a solid structure. All right, so that's everything from building the structure all the way to getting it live. And if you wanted to try it out yourself, then the prompts are all there for you. Links are in the description below, and more videos like this are coming your way soon. So thank you for investing your time with me today, and I'll see you at the next one.